Welcome to Adventuring Dimwits and Hyperactive Dragons, aka ADHD, a real play tabletop podcast that uses different RPG systems to tell a story and mess around a bit. I'm Orion. I'm not DMing or even in this session or the next session. We are continuing our journey into Erys, and this is a one-shot that turned into a two-shot, surprise, surprise, that Bret DMs with Carson, Jacque, and Caleb. And they're just exploring another part of the world of Erys. After this one shot, we have another one shot that was two sessions. And then we will finally get into actual season 2 of ADHD. Schedule's been a little bit wonky. Hope you're still enjoying listening. All right, here's the session.
Caleb, are you level 15?
Yeah. Is that not where we're supposed to be at?
Your stats...
No, we're level 15.
Your stats suck, my dude.
Well, that's because I'm multi-classed.
16's your highest?
I mean, yeah.
You did... You
I'm gonna let you know right now.
You did use your 3 ASI.
I got some magic items that come...
Well, I don't know, he multi-classed. I don't know what level he went into.
That's true.
So.
Cool.
I've never played a necromancer, and there's a lot to this, and I, for the last 3 days, have gone over this information over and over again, and every time I think I got it, I'm like, yeah, and then 2 hours later, I forget it all, so...
Oh, necromancers are so much. I played one. Like Orion said, I played the most boring one, and I was like, yeah, because I played the simplest one. Because there is so much.
There's so much, but it's so cool, like, I just have to remember all of the information if I want to get it right.
And
my little goldfish can't do that.
well, if y'all think that's bad, I played a cleric once, like 10 years ago, maybe, and I played a monk not at all. So,
Oh my god, are you playing a
We're all-
monk and you're
we're all-
going to get a level 15?
What levels are you?
exactly, and I'm starting at level fucking 15, baby.
All right, Caleb. Well, here's the thing. All right, I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess you're not a level 15 monk because you're multi-classing.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. There's freaking monks. I'm not gonna sit forever and wait on your turn. If you're looking stuff up, I'm gonna be like, okay, on to the next person.
I'm quickly
Or I
downloading
might just like
all
let
the
you do 20
spells
damage.
because I
Be
completely
like, okay,
forgot.
you do 20 damage. We're done.
I forgot to screenshot.
All right. So Orion said, make sure we do an intro and record everything. So, howdy everyone. This is the intro.
Hey,
Hey,
guys.
Orion, you're not here. You don't get to boss us around. Let's jump into this.
You're not my dad anymore.
This isn't his child. This is Brett's child. So
Mm-hmm.
We're not on Aemon.
That's
We
right.
don't get to determine anything anymore.
Yeah, that's right. This is my world. This is my world. Where the only rule is Orion can't play.
Oh.
So, let's start with character introductions. I think Carson should go first.
thank God.
Okay, I
He's my
am
main character in this.
playing a half-orc named Azel Vindikar. He is a former Oath of Ambition, which is Oath of Conquest in Erys Paladin, who has broken his oaths and is now an Oathbreaker Paladin. How far do we want to go into backstory? Is that all you want from me?
No, you break us off a little more. It's all right.
His oaths were
This
broken
might be
when
the only time we see these
he
characters.
essentially felt betrayed by his patron, the god Rector, who is the king of gods. He was commanded by Rector to kill the love of his life, Rosalind, and assuming that Rector had a good reason for telling him to do so, followed through, and afterward the Rector said, she was just holding you back. And so he kind of lost his mind a little bit.
Sounds like good reason to me.
So he's kind of got a broken mind and sought out Jacque's character as a means of getting Rosalind back after traditional means of resurrection, true means of bringing her back to life, were thwarted by Rector. He is
right,
like
Jacque.
a
Oh, sorry.
like a pale gray-skinned half orc with really gaunt features. He's still he still has a very wiry frame, but he's not bulky. Very gaunt features, very sallow cheeks. You can see his jaw essentially perfectly defined. His skin's almost hanging off of his face. He's got stringy black hair that comes down to about his shoulders.
What was your name?
Azel. It's Zeal. It's
Azel?
Yeah, it's an anagram of Zeal. Azel.
Okay.
Badass.
All right, Jacque. I think it makes sense for you to go next.
Okay. So, couple roadblocks. I have not thought too hard about her appearance, and I just realized that I forgot to give her armor, so I have no idea where her armor class is, but that's fine. Anyway,
Hey, what do you know? What kind of armor you can wear?
I thought that I was able to wear.
Can you wear medium?
I think I'm only able to wear light.
Okay.
Sorry, I was.
You do your thing. I'm gonna find you some armor.
Okay. Okay. So, I am playing a character. Her name is Sisyphus, because I love the name Sisyphus, but I didn't want to use the name Sisyphus. So she is a necromancer, half merfolk, half sea elf. And, I'm having trouble remembering the names that we came up with, but in Erys there are two types of merfolk, at least in the area around Udenberg, is that what we're calling it? Or to the west of Udenberg?
Bret definitely thought that was pronounced Judenberg.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, Judenberg, okay.
No, I like Udenberg a lot better.
Udenberg is better?
I mean, Udenberg sounds like the proper name.
I kind of want to call it Judenberg because it's funny.
Okay, Judenberg is good.
Because that's definitely how. But no, I like Udenberg, and it's going to be one of those things that's definitely said both ways in this.
I was gonna say
there's
it's
how you know if you're from there.
Difference.
Someone's got to play a character from
I'm from
Udenberg.
Lafayette,
Right?
People will correct you. Like I'll say I'm from Lafayette, and they'll be like, "You've been Lafayette."
Oh, Lafayette.
Yeah, you know how to say where I'm from better than me. Yeah, absolutely. Or Trine and Tryon. It's like that.
Yeah.
Judenberg.
People keep putting an S at the end of Cave Springs. It's like, no, man, there's only one spring. Just one. There ain't multiple. It's a singular spring.
But you go ahead. You
okay.
can go. You can go.
So there are two types of merfolk. There are the essentially sirens that kind of lure people to their deaths, and then there are the more peaceful, just like I want to commune with nature merfolk. Sisyphus is a child of one of those deadly sirens and a sea elf, and there's not really much for her backstory with her parents, because I'm just gonna say that her parents are really cool and they're alive somewhere living it up on a farm.
I like it.
But
that's gonna kill them.
Somewhere in Judenberg.
You're already dead, you just don't know it.
And so Sisyphus grew up with a very morbid curiosity for dead things and like poisons and like all of that kind of stuff. There is in Judenberg an apothecary called, what is it called? Evergreen's Essential Embrocations, and that is run by Cochrane Evergreen, who is a necromancer who used to be a warlord, but he honestly just wants to live his life just making his little potions and for people to leave him alone. He took
man,
in
does
People
Sisyphus.
know he's a warlord.
I think I'm gonna let you decide that.
I'm gonna say no one from around here. Does. There's
Cochrane
lots of
took
people
her
obviously
in,
that know he's a warlord, but
and
no one from here. He did good.
he
keeping
kind
that
of
secret.
he moved here from somewhere like far away, probably. So no one really knows his background. He took her in, taught her, like, basically she was his apprentice, and that's how she got into necromancy, and she also worked at the apothecary, you know, making these embrocations for the people of Judenberg. And I think we worked it out where the townsfolk would come to them for, like, sometimes would use them for their necromancy services, which is basically just raising thralls for busy work, like farmhand work, and just kind of anything that you would need an extra hand in. Nothing crazy, like I can't think of what else you would use like an undead thrall for, but maybe
We're not using them for combat and stuff, right? You're using them.
They're just using them for stuff that might be like too risky for a townsfolk to do, so they would have an undead thrall do it so that there's no risk to losing a townsfolk.
I mean, kind of like slave labor, but not bad,
Yeah.
right?
Well, so they're servitors. They're 40k servitors. Just maybe a little bit more ethically sourced. And
Ethically, yeah.
At least 80%
So, yeah, she's
of the
been
people
doing
in
that.
Warhammer 40k that are turned into servitors did something really, really, really bad to become a servitor. You know, like.
So the only thing that I have for her appearance, because apparently, I think it's sea elves that are really fucking tall. She
elves.
is.
Elves are tall.
No, I think it was the merfolk we said.
The merfolk are really
I
tall?
don't think the sea elves were that tall.
Okay.
Did I
Well,
say that
one
wrong?
of them, half of her fucking ancestry is really tall, so she's 7'3". And her skin is scaly, and I don't want to say she has hair, so she's got these two spiny fins that come out from the side of her face, and instead of hair, I was thinking like the little like on a jellyfish when you have the like curly, like they're not appendages. I don't know what they're called actually, but like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Tentacles?
Yeah, but like I feel like they're not tentacles because they're so thin.
I think the correct term is Celia.
Celia?
I think.
Okay, we'll go with that. I'll look that up later so that I can actually write it down.
Yeah.
But so she has that like coming out from the top of her head instead of hair. And
It's
her
kind of like a Luca person.
Luca. Oh, yes.
The Disney movie. Yeah.
Yes.
Just watched
Except it
that for
looks
the
way
first
cooler.
time like a couple of weeks ago. Good movie.
Good movie. Makes her cry every time.
I based her coloring because she comes from the alluring sirens. I figured I would use a poisonous frog color to base her off of. So like the bottom half of her body is dark blue, and then it goes up into lighter blue, and then on the top half of her body she has these kind of like rounded stripes, like not sharp stripes, but like rounded stripes, if that makes sense, of just bright orange.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
I don't remember the name of the frog that I used.
I really, really like that you did that you made her so blue. You know, from the description I gave from the sea elves. That's good stuff.
But yeah, so she was working at the apothecary. Azel, it's pronounced Azel, right?
Yes.
Azel.
Azel.
It's pronounced asshole.
All right.
Asshole.
Came to the apothecary and was like, hey, I really need your help. Can you raise my lover? And, Sisyphus is a very honest person, but she didn't realize that Azel didn't know what this truly meant. She didn't realize that he didn't know this wasn't going to be his real lover, that it was just going to be her just an empty shell of his lover.
I mean, call it what it is. She's a flesh golem.
She's a flesh golem. And she saw that it kind of really messed him up, and now she feels like indebted to him, and she feels like she needs to help fix this because, this is her fault, basically.
I want to be clear. Azel 100% thinks this is just the same Rosalind that he killed, and so he is just treating this flesh golem as though she is the love of his life.
There
they're walking around holding hands, right? Eating dinner together.
Oh yeah,
well, he's holding her hand.
Yeah.
We don't know that she's actually.
What is her appearance like? She doesn't just look like she's a flesh golem, right? So
she is the body of his lover.
Okay, so it does look like her, but
it looks
like a dead version of her walking around.
But she's a zombie, essentially.
Okay.
But I did have a question, because as a necromancer, I do have a summon limit, but I was wondering if instead, just for, roleplay's sake, that maybe Cochrane had found a way to raise the dead, but raise the dead in a way that they're not used as combatants. They're literally just used to kind of do heavy lifting or just be there.
Hello.
Because they're I could have it. My
this,
summit limit is
this
3.
a me thing?
I can only have 3 thralls. So if I was to use her as one of my thralls, that would kind of handicap me, and I'm fine with that if you would rather have that be the case. But I was wondering if we could just have her there, and obviously I wouldn't use her as a thrall.
Or I have animate dead as an oathbreaker. After you raised her, I could.
How about this? Can y'all hear me? You were
the animating of her form, and she could be my animated dead. And my responsibility.
That's actually what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, what if?
So you can have access to all of yours.
Can y'all hear me? I'm not lighting up green.
Oh, he didn't like that at all. He said, "Fuck you."
All right. Can y'all hear me?
There he is. He's
I'm like, y'all trying to cheat and get these extra resources. Hell no. No.
He brought in someone else to be a referee. Yeah. We see you working.
I was talking, but I wasn't lighting up green, and it seemed like y'all couldn't hear me. I was gonna originally pitch, how about Carson loses a level 1 spell slot? But I'm looking at his spell slots. He doesn't have that many, so I'm actually it's a roleplay thing. I don't care. She's you have an extra summon.
Okay.
The way Animate Dead works is it lasts 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I could genuinely raise her from the dead and then do a long rest and get all my spell slots back. And you can refresh them essentially at the end of every day. So I'll always be keeping a spell slot in reserve. But I don't care.
No, I'm cool with it being Dude, what's Jackie's character's name?
I'm a paladin. Spell slots are cool, but
Sisyphus.
So I'm cool with just saying Sisyphus is a super powerful necromancer. I mean, she's level 15. She's found a way to tie this one off, and it is not as useful. It just kind of meanders around and lets Azel pull it. Pull it around and stuff. So it doesn't count against her summon limit. She just summon 3 others.
Okay.
All right. Caleb, let's hear about your guy.
Okie dokie. So, my character is Radamanthys, the righteous emissary of hell. Radamanthys is a human of indeterminate age, mostly because he walks around in his order's raiment, which mostly consists of dark colored robes, and he wears a mask reminiscent of something from an ancient Greek tragedy all the time.
God.
He's pretty much a he's pretty much a warrior mystic belonging to like this mortuary cult that worships hell and what was her husband's name? Who's just like the god of the underworld?
Infernus.
Infernus. And basically, what he and his order handle, they handle preparations of the dead for burial and things like
I
that.
like that.
They do know some healing to heal the sick, or to provide comfort for the sick and dying. But they also train in various forms of martial arts, and they go out
Gotta train in
and
martial arts.
seek out the those that would disrupt the natural cycle of life and death. Like necromancers,
Okay.
or other people who raise the dead, or just undead in general. So, yeah, Radamanthys is kind of sort of grossed out by this little arrangement that uh is going on here, but he keeps it to himself for the most part.
So what is he doing with this group? Why is he with them?
Uh, I mean, I guess he's. I guess he's probably just trying to monitor what their actions are,
Well,
and maybe he's kind of keeping the whole like his order, because I feel like the whole necromancer assassin thing is not very widely known. As far as Sisyphus and Azel, he's just some warrior mystic who can punch things real good and heal people when he needs to.
so I think it would also make sense. Me and Carson talked about how Azel just kind of wants to be done with everything and retire, and right now he's just kind of looking for a place to get away from everything, and maybe a place even that's dangerous enough that no one will come bother him. So it sounds like if you ran across them and found out that was the plan, that you might be like, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go stick you somewhere where you and this monstrosity can't ever bother anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because as a holy man, and Radamanthys has heard people. Yeah, he's heard all the stages of grief and everything, so he kind of sees what's going.
Still in
He
denial.
sees this whole. Yeah, exactly. Sees exactly what Azel's going through, and he knows what it is. It's just unfortunately Azel's in a place where he feels like he's going about it the wrong way.
Seems healthy to me.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and get started. So, we open on a small little town. The center of this town sports a massive oak tree and a small stream that cuts the town in half. Around the oak tree, the town is laid out carefully and methodically. There's a well-worn path taking you anywhere you would like to go. And slightly off to the northeast, you see the bee boxes that make up the apiary and the smoke mages ever at work harvesting the honey. As the camera pans away from this central hub, you can see the layout of the town becomes more and more chaotic. It's a victim to its rapid growth over the past decade and the ineptitude of the village council's city planning. So the camera slowly pulls back into our party, standing before the great oak tree. And what do you guys want to do? And I guess we should say this is something we talked about, but we should probably have it on the recording too. This is called Judenberg, or what was the correct pronunciation? Judenberg? Judenberg or Judenberg.
Yeah.
Is
We have to know what the townspeople say it is versus what outsiders call it.
I think
So you want it to be actually
no, I like it
Judenberg?
better that in town they call it Judenberg and everywhere else they call it Judenberg because
Okay.
that's like more like the quote correct pronunciation.
And then you got people that just say Judenberg.
I think that might have been how I was saying it. Whatever. So Judenberg is famous for its apiaries, where they harvest this honey and turn it into mead. And their mead is known all across the continent. There are lots of taverns, like all around the continent, that brag about having mead from here, and of course, the taverns that also lie and say they have mead from here to draw people in. But it's just watered down crap. So y'all are standing here in the middle of this tiny little town, with all of your armor and packs filled with your adventuring equipment. Is there anything y'all want to do?
Where on Erys are we?
You are. Do you have the map handy, or you want me to share it?
I can pull it up.
I'll share it here real quick.
There's one in the group chat that I circled the area where it is.
What? Why didn't that post? Oh, all right. I put it in the chat here. So we are. Oh, it's so tiny. All right, you see where the
Maybe you should have drawn it bigger.
the resting spears
Mm-hmm.
are, where everything is snowy above that. The mountains. So this mountain range that's cutting the continent in half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Yes.
everything's snow above it. So then there's that little peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Okay,
that
I
is
see.
That's the Cape of Sirens, or Sirens Cape. I think it's Sirens Cape. And then you see the
Mm-hmm.
that build the town right below it, right below the south of it. Like it's almost like it's pointing at it.
So
That's
I'm
where we
not.
are.
So Azel isn't meandering aimlessly. I imagine he has a remote location fixed in his mind that he believes he will be able to essentially enter into hermitage.
Yeah, that's the Sirens Cape is known to be super dangerous. So you're in like a subtropical climate, or
Wait. Because Judenberg is supposed to be to the east of that.
oh, okay. I thought we were using what's already on the map. I was doing that one to this. Oh, is it that real bushy area, that real thick area?
So
You tell me where it is.
town that you said is at the tip of Sirens Cape. To the east of that, directly to the east of that, in that area is where the apothecary was. That's where
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So I would think that your character came here because Sirens Cape is so everything around is like a subtropical climate, and then Sirens Cape is a peninsula, and it's like rainforest, and there's the mermaids or sirens, in the water around it, and not many people go in there. They say it's magical and dangerous.
So I think Azel is just fussing over zombie Rosalind. So he has find greater steed,
Yeah.
and I would just like to have a skeletal horse.
Okay.
That is my mount. Find greater steed lasts until the creature either dies or is banished or dispelled.
What? So permanent?
It's
Like
correct, until the creature is essentially
if you don't
destroyed.
banish it and it survives a year, you just used a spell slot and it lasts a year.
Yes,
That is awesome.
I mean longer, but we
Right,
actually
right,
had
right.
we actually had the same conversation with Zane. But yes, it just lasts, and so he has a skeletal horse, and Of course, he has it saddled and everything. Maybe zombie horse instead of skeletal, so there's some meat on them bones. But has it saddled and everything, and Rosalind rides on, like, with him on zombie horse. But he has, like, lifted her up and put her on the horse, and is just fussing over her, and, like, has a pack for her with her things in it and everything. Like her things from when she was still alive, what he could scrounge up and gather, and just make sure she has everything that she needs, and make sure he has everything that he needs, and is just getting ready to set out. He's mumbling to himself all the while, like under his breath.
Oh crap! I'll be right back. Y'all do some stuff in character.
Okay.
I haven't figured out a voice for Sisyphus yet.
So I guess, if we're just kind of in this little town or area, Radamanthys will kind of look over to where Rosalind is up on old Bone Horse, and
Zombie horse. Zombie horse.
Oh, Zombie Horse. My bad.
There's meat on them bones.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, we really missed like a skeletal. We really missed like a skeletal horse opportunity. Every time it neighs, it doesn't break. It actually sounds like the voice of Skeletor going. Hey.
You are studying Rosalind. Are you studying? Is it obvious that, like, are you leering, or is this just like an idle glance, like out of the corner of your eye?
I mean, it's kind of I'm not like leering, but you can definitely tell that Radamanthys is looking over at it. Like I said, you can't see his face; the mask obscures his face, and there's this weird, like, you can't, like, even like well lit, you can't see his eyes behind the mask. The mask completely obscures his features, even though you feel like you should be able to see his eyes and mouth moving behind the mask. You can kind of just like see him, like, kind of looking over at you, fussing with your undead lover and undead steed.
Okay.
And I do not wish to presume anything, Azel. I am perhaps not the most well-versed in niceties outside of my temple and order, but I do believe this steed that you have conjured for Rosalind may draw some unnecessary attention.
And what kind of attention do you think that will be? Every time Azel speaks to you, there is menace in his voice.
This horse, it is, to be quite frank, it appears that it has been laying in a battlefield somewhere for weeks.
And do you think people are more likely to approach or stay away?
Stay away, perhaps, but
all the better. He turns his attention away from you. He goes back to fussing over Rosalind.
Radamanthys kind of stops for just a second to let you get a little bit ahead of him so you can't see, and then you just kind of, if anyone was really paying attention, you could probably see he had just a slight shake of his head, in disappointment and sorrow for this poor man.
Guess that's better than disgust. But so as
it's there too. It sounds like that's there too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like disgust, and then you said for this poor man.
Yeah.
All right. So as you make your way through town, a portly, middle-aged human woman scurries up to you. She's got short brown hair, and she's wearing an apron that's covered in all kinds, stains of all different colors. She obviously makes a very intentional arc to move away from Azel to the rest of the group, and she's like, "Hey, I wanted to wish you luck on your journey, and I've made everyone some of these." And she gives Sisyphus and Radamanthys. Is that your name?
Radamanthys,
what a mouthful.
yes.
Okay. She gives you each 2 potions of greater healing, and then she pulls out 2 more and kind of looks at Azel, and then just gives those two to Sisyphus also. And she's like, whenever you're ready, I've hired a ferry driver to pilot driver. I'm not sure what the right word is, but to take you to across the river. Although he is quite anxious, so I wouldn't keep him too long.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you. I believe Cochrane has some potions for you back at the apothecary. Whenever you have a moment.
Oh yes, of course. I'll go there now. She hurries off. Carson, am I saying your name wrong?
Azel.
Azel. Okay. I'm gonna write it down.
Bret, was that 1 or 2 potions of greater
2.
healing? 2? Okay.
Sisyphus is going to hand the extra 2 potions of greater healing to Azel.
Azel takes them and stores them in Rosalind's bag, and nods gratefully.
Well, shall we go?
Yes, let's be about our way to this ferry.
Off we set. Azel begins moving towards the ferry.
Alright, so y'all make your way to the ferry. You see the smoke mages, a few of them stop and wave at Sisyphus as the group walks by. And you see this behavior kind of throughout the whole town as you're making your way to the ferry. Just about every time a group passes, like a few in the group wave to Sisyphus. She seems to be well known and loved in this town. Then y'all get to the ferry, which was what it was called, but it's just more like it's basically just a wooden raft. It's like a big square. It's probably like 20-foot square, right? It's just like boards laid out. There's no sides. And there's an old man. He looks so old. He appears to be a human, but he looks ancient. And no hair on top of his head, long white beard, and he's like hunched over as if gravity's just like pulling him down to the earth, and he's holding himself up with this pole that sticks up about 10 feet over his head and then disappears into the water beside the raft. And as you walk up, he just is like, come on, let's go, we're late, you're making me late.
I believe Sisyphus would assist Rosalind onto the raft if Azel would let her.
Of course. There is exactly one person in the world that Azel trusts with Rosalind other than himself, and it's Sisyphus.
Definitely not me.
Oh god, that's weird.
He's keeping a real sharp eye.
It's definitely not the really weird death. It's not the weird death priest.
Alright, so everybody loads up. The old man is like grumpily muttering under his breath as he pushes off. And he's using this big pole he has to...
Do we know this person? Or would Sisyphus know this person?
Make a history check. Go ahead and give yourself advantage, because you're from here.
Oh. History is something I'm very good at.
Very good at history.
Very good.
mechanically speaking, and this does include Radamanthys, generally speaking, and this might
Why
be
is she not working?
difficult for Radamanthys.
That's a 16. Sorry.
But staying within 10 feet of Azel, if we're in like combat scenarios, is a good idea.
Is a good idea.
Yeah. So something
Okay,
about
cool.
paladins, and this is all paladins.
Said the crazy guy.
But while you're within my aura, you will get to add my charisma bonus, which is a +5 to any saving throw that you make.
Oh hell yeah! I
I'm
already
really
have
wanting to
some.
make a like Oath of War paladin that follows next, and it takes that aura and makes it a bad thing because it's to put enemies. Because it's to put enemies in it, right? So it's like anyone in the aura gets these bad things that happen to them.
So such things exist, like Oath of Conquest or Oath of Ambition. While they're within your aura, they essentially take thorns damage equal to your charisma modifier whenever they strike you.
Well, I might make both of his
of you.
I might make all of his effects bad things then. So it's like, hey, that paladin with us, he's like super strong and stuff, but don't get close to him while he's fighting.
One of them is if your enemies are frightened of you within your aura, their speed is reduced to 0.
Oh, jeez.
So they're just frozen in your aura.
I love it. Alright, so with a 16, I would say, yes, Sisyphus, you know who he is. He has been at this town forever, and ferry boating is his passion, but woodworking is how he pays the bills. Lots of people in town have cabinets and stuff that he's made. And even though he is so old now and he's always shaking, doesn't look like he has any dexterity left, his woodworking is still somehow just as good as ever. And his name
I know
is
you wanted to put these like level
Derek.
15 characters in here and make them really like
Derek.
important. Derek?
Derek is his name.
This is the single most important character
Derek.
that is going to come out of this.
He's turns out he's actually a lich.
He's the original
No,
Derek.
he's just Derek. He's just Derek, the woodworker who has a passion for ferry boating.
Eric is this setting's equivalent to Vecna. I'm calling it now.
It would be quite a twist.
Somebody roll a d20 real quick. As Derek is, he's using this pole and he's putting it on the bottom of the river and pushing this raft forward.
I got it.
It's a 4.
Never mind. I'm caught.
Oh boy, a 4. Okay.
Something bad's about to happen. Trask emerges from the lake like Godzilla.
Huh. Okay, so
Two Trask emerge from the lake.
So as Derek is pushing y'all across the river, a wave, like a small wave, comes over the left side of the raft and washes over the raft. Everyone stumbles a little bit, but keeps their footing. And then you see, coming from that direction, a massive shadow in this river moving. It moves towards you and then under you, and as it moves under you, this huge, thick, like it's like 3 feet thick tentacle comes up and slams into the raft and puts a huge crack all the way down it, horizontally. It cracks it all the way down it, and then you see the shadow like disappear under the boat or raft, and it just keeps going, like off to your right. And Derek is mumbling as he keeps pushing he just like kind of keeps pushing the raft almost as if nothing happened, except, he's like, "Ah, damn it, stupid fucking tentacle. Just gotta take a week to fix this damn raft.
Are you alright, Derek?
Are you alright?"
Oh, I'm fine, just a little moist now.
Okay, good. I wouldn't want you to get hurt just for I do like you, but your friend creeps me out a little bit.
Which one?
That You.
Yes. Such
So
such is a burden of all those who do the work of sending those that are ready into the halls of Infernus.
You can't trust any gods.
And I just kind of bow my head.
Never trust any gods.
Yeah, see, that was like a real weird thing to say. Like, I don't think a normal person would have said something like that. A normal person would have said, like, no, don't, not like me. I'm a normal dude. But you just kind of doubled down on it. Okay. But now he's freaking me out too, mumbling. Who mumbles? I don't like people that mumble. People that mumble are weird, and I can't trust him. I don't trust him like mumbles. And he keeps pushing the raft, and he.
The end is nothing to fear.
Your commentary's killing me.
The end is nothing to fear, friend Derek. Lady Hell comes for us all, one day or another. We must all pass beyond her veil to the halls of her husband.
Azel.
Well, we'll see about that.
Azel stares very intently at Radamanthys and says, "Some of us sooner than later."
Do we know how long this raft ride is going to take?
It takes about 10 minutes.
Okay. Can I, while these guys are having their little mumble match, can I take 1 minute and spend one soul magic spell slot to summon a thrall?
Yeah, sure. Is it a flesh thrall?
Yes, it's a flesh thrall.
Do you have to have a corpse around?
No, I can use a corpse, but I don't have to use a corpse, I don't believe. I think I just summon it. So maybe...
Yeah, you totally do.
I mean, if we want to use a corpse, we could have something slither out of the ocean. Something just launches into the air and starts flopping on the raft.
Or we could say you can like sense you can like sense corpses almost. Mm-hmm. And this is a very dangerous river, so you can sense something below you, so you get down, meditate, or however she does it, and then this like zombie hand grabs the side of the raft and pulls itself up, and it's like covered in seaweed and water's pouring out of its ears.
I love that. It's covered in barnacles.
And it just and then a few minutes later, you land on the bank at Siren's Cape.
So is this just like an...
Alright, here you are. Get off. I had stuff to do now because the thing broke. It was here. Now it's a big crack in it.
Radamanthys just kind of places 2 gold in Derek's hand. For your efforts. For your efforts, my friend. And perhaps to go towards your coat.
Fix my whole raft and stuff. Give me 2 gold. That's cool.
Sisyphus is going to help Rosalind off the boat. I was going to say boat, but it's not a boat. It's a raft.
Not a boat.
But I think she will, gently touch Derek's shoulder and with her other hand give him a vial of something. What that is, I don't know. Maybe they had an agreement, but it's a vial.
He puts it under his cloak so fast so that no one else can see it. No, that's payment. That's what a good person does.
It's the fancy equivalent of a gas station boner bill.
It's just a 40.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Steel Reserve.
Okay, so when y'all hop off the raft, you're on it's a beach. And it's kind of like a beach, like the beach in Lost, right? It's beach for 20 or 30 feet. As you go inland, it just quickly becomes jungle.
There's half of an airplane on
it. And no, there's no airplanes on it that you can see, at least. And I mean, as soon as the last person's foot is off the raft, Derek is already pushing away.
He's out.
And heading back. Yeah, he got shit to do. He's got to fix his raft and stuff. So now y'all are standing there on the beach. Sisyphus' new thrall is standing there, still dripping.
Well, I was about to say, nobody's
sand
trying to
all
stop
over it.
Radamanthys from striking the thrall because he sees a zombie trying to climb up on a raft. He's a.
I think if you've been
I
with
missed
us
that you
for
said
a little bit, you've probably seen Sisyphus summon a thrall.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
If you've been around Judenberg, surely
You
you've seen
kind of
them.
see Radamanthys kind of look it up and down, and he just kind of looks over at Sisyphus like, still haven't gotten used to that, and then just continues in whatever.
And the thrall's like,
So, Zombie Horse was definitely on the raft with us.
yeah,
Course.
I made it big enough for the raft.
Azel has just
Or the
been,
raft big enough for it.
let it off the raft onto the beach, and has helped Rosalind back up on it, and is just busying himself, making sure that she's comfortable and has everything that she needs. Checks in with Sisyphus, make sure that Derek is well compensated. He has no need for money anymore. I didn't figure out how much he has, but he's probably a moderately wealthy person after decades of adventuring.
Oh yeah, I have also not figured out how much
So he'll
money
he'll just straight up give Derek
I got as much as
straight
you
up
want.
give Derek 100
What'd
gold.
you say?
And holy crap! Okay. So when you give Eric the 100 gold, it's it's in like a pouch, right? So you give it to him, and he just kind of weighs it, like in his hand, like moves it up and down, and like nods, and you're like, "This is more acceptable." See, he gives Radamanthys.
Radamanthys, yes.
God, that name. He just gives Radamanthys like a glare, and holds the gold out, the pouch of gold out for a second, and then he puts it under his cloak too, and then he pushes away.
For your passion and for your discretion.
I'm very discreet, he yells as he's pushing the raft away.
It,
Won't tell anyone about
Does he
you.
okay, so is it like when you say it's like a ferry, is it like one of those things where there's a rope tied to two ends that he pulls the ferry along, or has he actually got like an oar that he's like?
No,
piloting the boat?
it's a pole that he's pushing
Okay.
it.
I
with, but
imagine-
So it's like a very
not
shallow
anything.
channel.
It's pretty deep from what it seems. This must just be a huge pole. And you definitely didn't go in a straight shot because he's not using an oar or anything. So you kind of got pushed down the river. And now as you're watching him go, you see that the river is pushing him down. So he's going to be a few miles away from the town when he lands. But yeah, he's just pushed him.
That sucks.
Just pushing the old raft on back.
That sucks, man. I hate that.
It's his
Oh,
passion.
well.
He doesn't mind. This is what he was born to do. Woodworking is what he's good at, but this is what he was born to do. Is be a not very good ferry driver.
Woodworker by necessity, ferryman by destiny.
There we go.
That's etched on the back of his
Radamanthys,
Tattooed.
Radamanthys
you
just
couldn't
stoically
see until
watches this
now
man
as it's
just
leaving.
wash down the river.
You can hear him whistling as he's pushing away, but he can't really whistle, and his mouth sounds really dry. But he's giving it his best shot.
Yeah, if you have the subtitles turned on, whenever the camera pans around back to Radamanthys, it just says an asterisk: stoicism intensifies.
Okay, so you say there's a little bit of a beach, and then it basically just becomes like dense jungle.
Yeah. There's about 30 foot of beach, and then without warning. Kind of, it's just suddenly jungle.
How dense are we talking here? Like, is it going to be possible to lead this horse through?
Oh, you can certainly try. It does look pretty dense.
Should I have my longsword out and just be like hacking away at the foliage?
Yeah, I think to start, right, like when you first go in, yeah, you definitely need to hack your way in.
There's no like, are there any signs of like this area being, occupied by anyone? There are no pathways or anything. It just seems wild.
Why don't you make a nature check or survival?
Were we traveling to Siren's Cape?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, and that's where you've landed. That's why it's just like suddenly a rainforesty area after this beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 14 plus 1, 15 for my nature check.
Yeah, so with a 15, it seems like to you that like no one lives here. It's very wild, overgrown. You hear the cries of animals coming from inside the jungle. Some you recognize. It's like different kinds of birds and things, but some you never heard before. Even a few menacing growls. And I say you pace up and down the beach a little bit, like looking for a good entryway, and there's definitely not any pathways or anything, but you find a spot where it takes minimal hacking with your longsword to get in, and then once you're in, it is a very dense jungle. Like huge green leaves everywhere, tall trees. You see like lots of fallen logs covered in moss. There's like knee-high grass scattered about, and I'll just let that 15 keep riding and say you can definitely lead your horse through here, but it looks like it would be a nuisance to ride it. If you're trying to get somewhere quickly, it would probably be faster to stay on your feet and lead your horse than to ride. If you try to ride your horse quickly through here, you're probably gonna, break its leg or something.
I mean, it is a zombie, but
Or break its leg and then your neck when it throws you.
Break its leg.
Yeah.
No. Azel isn't riding the horse. Only Rosalind is. He's leading the horse. Okay. I can
35-ish.
So I can dismiss it, and I think I will because it's not going to be very useful here. I can always bring it back by casting the spell again, but it just like crumples into essentially a pile of rotting flesh and bones, and he has like an entire pack that he gathers the flesh and bones in and puts them in there so that he can use it essentially to summon the steed.
Did you say a tank?
No, just like a bag.
Oh, okay. You cut out. I didn't know what you said he put in.
Yeah. So there's just like this gooey, bony, fleshy bag.
Squishy bag he's got on him.
Yeah, that now he's basically wearing on his back, and he's got his pack over one shoulder and Rosalind's pack over the other shoulder, and is kind of leading the way through this dense jungle area, cutting down foliage in the party's way as he ventures into it. Is there a specific area Azel's heard about on Siren's Cape?
No, because no one's really explored it, because lots of people have come to explore it and not come back, and the few that have come back, some of them have been crazy, and others say they didn't go very far in before they left, and there was probably one person that got in real deep, stayed in there for like a month, and came back, and he refused to draw any maps or tell anyone anything about it because he didn't want to encourage anyone going.
So I think go ahead.
Sorry, really quick. When we had like a minute of just like if we took a break or something, can I have summoned another thrall?
Yeah, you were doing that while Azel was walk around looking for the best place to enter the jungle. We can say
Okay. I think I was
Yeah, no.
assuming that's what it was. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but I just wanted
No,
to
you're
get that out
good,
there.
you're good. This time one crawled out of the jungle and it's been gnawed on by some things, but it comes crawling out of the jungle to you, dripping blood a little bit still. All right, so y'all make your way through the jungle. You just keep pressing.
I think
Yeah.
I think Azel's looking for. He wants to get deeper into the jungle. Obviously, he wants to be well concealed.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what he would be looking for would be any really defensible positions. Caves. If there was like a sheer cliff face or something, that he could maybe find his way to the top of, so that he could, or put his back to at the base of, so that it would be pretty easy to defend.
Okay.
That would kind of be what he's looking for, just somewhere he can be hidden away, so it wouldn't be super obvious if somebody came across it that somebody's even there. But if they did, where he would be able to protect Rosalind and, deal with any threats that did find him.
All right.
He has this beautiful gilded greatsword on his back as well that none of you have ever seen him so much as touch. He seems to actually glower at it on occasion.
Okay, so why don't you make a survival check for me while you're trying to find a defensible position as you move through here. And I will say, with your nature check from earlier, you would know just from, I'm sure you did some research before you came here, and you know that this touches the resting spears, the largest mountain range on the continent. It's
a 5 + 2 7.
That's great. That's great. So you would at least know that if you get really deep into the jungle, there should be like some cliff face or something that maybe you could, climb up and find a spot. So you're 7. You're walking through the jungle looking for a place, and a easily defensible place, and you come to a river that is running through this jungle, and you're like, hey, it's good to be near water, so you're following the river to see where it goes, and you follow the river for a few minutes until it kind of opens up into this large basin, and there's this like giant boulder in the middle of it, and you don't see any there's no cliffs or like large rocky structures around, so it almost just looks like this giant rock fell from the sky in the middle of this huge basin of water. And I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
You get +5 to it if you're within 10 feet of me.
So mine's +7. Cool.
It's +7 with that +5.
Yeah, with the +5, it's +7. What?
What's your wisdom?
15.
Yeah, 15.
Right.
Wow.
That is a 22 for Sisyphus.
Oh, nice.
20 total.
Let's say 6 + 12, 18.
Okay, that's fun. So
do my thralls also need to make?
No.
Okay.
No. I got it, Orion. Thank you.
They ain't got no. Yeah. They ain't got no. They ain't got no funk. They ain't got no thanks in the head.
Genuinely, he's paying more attention as a bystander than he ever has.
Or DM. So everyone's looking out at this basin, with the large rock in it, and God, I'm struggling with y'all's characters' names. Sisyphus and Radamanthys. You hear a singing, and for a second, like you start to take a step forward, like to go closer to it, and then stop. Like shake your head, like you felt this pull to it for a second, but you're just listening now and looking around, looking for the source of the singing. You just hear this like beautiful sound coming from it. Seems like all around you, and Azel, you actually see Rosalind swimming out in the water, and she looks more beautiful than you've ever seen her. And she is swimming in the water and turns and like playfully splashes at you and yells for you to come join her.
Uh-oh, did we lose?
So...
Oh, okay.
So, can I also see Rosalind, who has been, like... Who Azel has been glued to the side of, like, this whole time, moving through the jungle?
No, you can't seem to turn your head in that direction. But you can definitely see the Rosalind out in front of you. Or this might be... No,
okay.
This is better. You do turn
Okay.
and you do see that Rosalind, but you see what she really looks like to everyone else. And then you look back and you see the real Rosalind swimming.
So...
Do I notice this?
Azel
Make an insight check.
opens up his
Because he hasn't done anything yet.
divine sense. Azel opens up his divine sense and the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead that is within 60 feet of him, he knows the location of.
Celestial, fiend, or undead.
Yes.
Well, you see Papa and Dino. Those are my thralls.
Yeah, you know where Papa and Dino are. Wait, how big is this radius? Is this going to be super annoying for me?
60 feet.
Okay. Yeah, you see the thralls. You see Rosalind. The dead Rosalind beside you. And that's it. That's all that you're...
Like... So, Azel is not a well man.
Mhm.
But he knows who Sisyphus is and what Sisyphus does. And so, like, understands that Rosalind is undead. He just sees her as his perfect Rosalind.
But not right now.
So...
Right now he sees the perfect Rosalind.
And... okay. So... Man, I'm in plate armor, so I can't really go in water without there being consequences. So, alright, well... I mean, this is happening because I failed a wisdom saving throw, so I'm not going to argue with you. He would definitely want to go after the perfect Rosalind who is swimming.
And with your insight check, Sisyphus, you would notice before he starts moving forward that something seems off
Okay.
with Azel.
But I'm not sure what exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, I think also he always kind of seems a little off. But
Okay.
more off than usual, like you see him look at Rosalind and look at the water, and he's staring intently out at the water.
Mm-hmm. But the second he starts moving towards that water,
I think you would
Sisyphus
know.
is going to grab his arm and say, "No, no, no."
I think he looks between Flesh Golem Rosalind and Swimming Rosalind, like, cannot comprehend how this is happening, and will try to shake free from your grasp.
As all this is happening,
Sisyphus.
sorry.
No, that was
Okay.
basically it.
As all this is,
He's gonna
Strength
go
contest.
after
Is he
Swimming
gonna
Rosalind.
try to go into the water still?
Seems like it.
Because if that's the case,
So-
I am having both my thralls help hold him back.
All right. Y'all do a strength contest, and I will. I'll give you advantage since you have two thralls helping you, and
So this is just straight up a strength contest,
you can do athletics.
not athletics or anything.
Do athletics. And what did you say Radamanthys was doing?
while all this is happening, Radamanthys is going to try to just get ahead of everybody, and as he kind of walks toward the water where this what does Radamanthys see in the water?
Is he paying it? So is he running out and looking at the water?
Yeah, I mean, because we heard the singing,
Right,
so
make a
Radamanthys
perception
knows that there's something weird going on.
Yeah,
Like,
make a perception check.
Okay.
I thought you were going to come help. I was about to let everyone do this with disadvantage because you're distracted, but you're running out and looking at the water, so...
Yeah. I make a perception.
So I'm just doing strength with advantage.
Yes, but you can do
Okay.
athletics. If you have...
It does not matter.
I figured.
Azel rolled a 22.
Oh, that's an
my
11.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so... Azel
Oh
got a
my
22.
god.
We got an 11. Okay, Caleb gets a 6.
Don't feel bad, Caleb. I rolled with a plus 12 and failed a wisdom.
My passive
By 2.
my passive perception is fucking 12, man.
So Caleb runs out, Radamanthys runs out to get a handle on the situation. Like, something's definitely going on with this water. Stops at the water's edge and is like looking back and forth. And dude, the water is beautiful. It's like crystal clear, and you see some pretty fish swimming around in it and stuff. And it kind of takes your breath away for a minute. You know, you kind of forget about all the crazy shit happening behind you for a second. But then you quickly remember when Azel jerks away from the 6 arms holding him and starts to stomp into the water. And what are the boys' ACs
I might have a spell.
that are standing here at the water?
Okay, so I've got the spell Calm Emotions. It says you attempt to suppress strong emotions in a group of people. Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range must make a charisma saving throw. It.
You got
Who-
two
you can
charisma-based
try.
characters that are gonna be.
It's all well, it's all well and good. Now, I mean, I'm metagaming here.
I love that. I love
What's
what
your
you
spell
heard.
save DC?
Oh, charisma.
It's a 15.
No, I can't fail that.
Go ahead and roll. If you get a 1, I'll let you fail.
That's a 10 plus 15, 25.
Damn.
Yeah, you don't even notice a spell has been cast.
That is a 6 plus 9, 15 for me.
Oh, hold on. Brett, would you say that he has fallen under some sort of is this a magical effect that has taken hold of Azel?
Could be. But before you cast another spell, it's going to be my turn.
Oh, well, I mean, I was going to say, like, well, okay, I'll say I did pass.
Did you ask me what my AC is?
I have a 22 to hit Azel and a 16 to hit Radamanthys.
Rat boy.
Ugh.
Ratty boy.
Azel's shield's not in his hands currently, so his AC is 20.
And a 16 just hits.
No, I'm sorry. It's 18. I'm sorry, it's 18.
Okay, so, Jackie, what's your 15? Oh, that's for the calm emotions.
Yeah, and I guess it's probably
Which passes,
5
right? That's what it
more
is.
Yeah.
if since
it
I'm
definitely
close
passes
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, the 2 merfolk pop out of the water right behind, one behind Azel and the other behind Radamanthys, and water sprays as they come out, as they come from the water. This like mist sprays, and they're colored up beautiful and bright. One is pink with like green slashes all across her, and the other is this like deep red with this like shiny black stripes that are going up her body, and they wrap their arms around One wraps its arms around Azel's torso and the other around Radamanthys, and they start dragging them down into the water. And let's roll initiative.
Oh gosh.
I am so not good at this. It's Gideon all over again.
So the two of you
That's 7 + 1, 8.
are grappled.
16 for Sisyphus, and I
Ours are
guess
going last.
they run with me.
At 12.
I got a 5 and a 7. So
Oh, hold on. You know what, Brett? Well, never mind. It hit me. Never mind. I was thinking about my Cloak of Displacement, but
all right.
So am I still under the thrall of this siren effect?
yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I'll let you roll a check at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah, I forgot about that, Brett. My Cloak of Displacement, any creature has a disadvantage on attack rolls.
Well, they had advantage because you didn't know where they were.
Okay, well, I don't know.
I'm going to let it ride, but I'm going to remember that.
That's until the first time you're hit every turn.
So disadvantage on attack rolls until you're hit?
Yeah, if you take damage, the
combat?
property ceases to function until the start of your next turn. So,
Okay.
So what you're
That's
telling
cool.
me is Brett needs to use magic missile on you every time.
unfortunately,
Every turn.
unfortunately.
Me just slowly striking through the monsters I have coming up later.
Yeah.
Wizard. Alright, Sisyphus is first.
Okay, so I'm gonna be staying within 5 feet of my thralls of Papa and Dino. But I am going to... I'm sorry, I'm looking for... Okay, I am going to use Command Thralls.
You're going to use Magic Missile at Radamanthys.
Yeah. I'm going to use Command Thralls to have them move to Azel, the merfolk that is grappling Azel, and to attack. But I will also use Baleful Charge, and that's just when I use Command Thralls. So that's, they can just says they can use their reaction to move up to their speed and then assault. So I think
Can they not normally move and attack?
No, they can, which is why I'm kind of confused about that.
I think it's like they can dash as a reaction. Like if they're 60 feet away, they could move 30, and then a reaction move 30 and attack.
Okay, alright, so...
I think is what that's saying.
Yeah, I'm just gonna command them, and I'll do, I'll command them to attack, both of them to attack the one that is on Azel.
Okay. Just go ahead and roll them both.
Okay.
See what we got. Do they get one attack each?
Hold, please.
A 1 would be funny, because they're grappling your friend.
Hold on. There's somewhere where they can do 2 instead of 1, but I think that is when I empower them. And I have not done that. So I'm just gonna do the attacks really quick. I'll roll just 2 separate die. So it would be a 25 and a 16.
Yeah, they both hit.
They both hit? Very cool.
Don't forget to tack on +5 to their damage rolls because they're in Azel's armor.
Okay.
Are they in his aura if they're attacking the thing grappling him? Think they're close enough?
I don't know.
I hope so.
It's a good
We'll see.
question.
It's a question for Orion, I think. Right, he says they are. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
So don't forget to give them that +5. DM's
15,
orders.
They have 15-foot reach. Forgot that.
Okay, so that is an 11
Average.
and a 16 of necrotic damage, and the the merfolk has to make 2 con saves or become poisoned until the end of their next turn.
Oh, so they could just say they don't want to make them and be poisoned?
Yeah.
Alright, what do they add to that? So that's a
They have
12
the poison heal ability. Don't
and a
poison
14.
A 12 and a 14.
Yep.
Neither of those saves. So they are poisoned until the end of their next turn.
Okay.
And that is all I can do.
Alright, it's Azel.
Yeah.
them. No, it's surely Radamanthys.
Oh, yeah, you're 8. I wrote it down backwards. It's Radamanthys.
Okay. I can still attack
God dang it.
normally while grappled, correct?
I think you have disadvantage.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do a melee spell attack. And I'm going to try inflict wounds at first level. Cast it, it's +7. Yeah, I'm saying I'm attacking with disadvantage.
I'm checking.
I don't think you do have disadvantage. I think you can just attack regularly.
Okay. It's a 13 hit.
13 just... sure. 13 hits.
Okay.
Speed this up.
Well, that is 3d10 necrotic damage. You see Radamanthys
Jeez.
he kind of like turns around and is like facing the siren now, and then I do like some sort of Jet Li 1-inch punch right into the bridge of the nose of the siren. But as you do it, you see like this like weird black spectral energy kind of manifest around Radamanthys' fist as he makes contact with the siren's nose. That's 3.
Let's see that damage.
10. You gotta be fucking shitting me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so he does all that cool stuff and is gonna hit the merfolk right in the bridge of the nose, but he slips a little bit because she's squeezing him so hard, and instead it just kind of like glances off her cheek. But yeah, with some like necrotic energy, like definitely spreads on her face right there a little bit. Alright, she's got a little cut on her face.
Mm.
Alright, now it is Azel's turn. Right? Or you got more you can do?
Does she like let go, or am I still grappled?
No, she didn't let go.
Damn it.
So, when they grappled, did I have a chance to? Did I have a chance to not be grappled by an athletics check or anything? Because like, grapple isn't just like you make an attack roll and it hits AC, and
yeah, you go ahead. You can.
It's like athletics against athletics.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Or acrobatics. So yeah, I mean, unless like my arms are free to grab my sword, and I'll just go ahead and attack.
Yeah, I think you still have your sword in your hand.
Okay, so I'll just go ahead and attack the creature that has grappled me. I'll attack twice.
Okay. I just kind of let him grapple you because no one was paying attention. Your characters, I mean. Not punishing the players not paying attention.
So that is a 5 plus 12, 17, and a 19 plus 12, 31.
Yeah, they both hit.
Okay.
I don't
So
think
that is
this thing
a
can
5
survive.
plus 12, a 5 plus 12, 17, and a 6 plus 12, 18 for a total of 35 damage.
Yeah, how do you want to kill this thing that's holding on to you?
So hacks both of its arms off, and then just straight through the face, stabbing with the longsword.
Woo! Alright, brutal, I like it.
And kicks it off the end of his blade. And then can I make my wisdom save?
Yeah.
It's a 7 plus 12, 19.
Yeah, you're still in.
The DC is 20.
Yeah. Which I didn't think would be hard. I knew that you had a huge
Those beautiful naked women over there make some very good points.
Run my ship up on those rocks.
Yeah, like you killed this one, but you're still like,
so,
dang. But Rosalind is still out there. I mean,
yeah, I think like he was viewing this thing as like trying to keep him from Rosalind, and so he's just like jumping into the water.
God. Okay.
Oh man.
Oh my god, he's jumping in the water. Okay.
Oh shit.
And trying to swim, I guess. I would say very within 10 feet, it's over your head.
If I remember correctly, there's no like actual punishment on swim speed for being in heavy armor.
I'm fine with that.
It's like that fucking episode of Love, Death, and Robots. You know the one.
Yeah, so it is the same. So, so after Azel chops this merfolk up, stabs her in the face, throws her body aside, that he just like dives into the water and starts swimming. And it is, it's my turn. So, the merfolk that is holding, Radamanthys, lets go and is swimming after Azel. And when she gets to him, she slashes at him with her claws with a...
Wait, does that not provoke an attack of opportunity?
From Radamanthys, if he wants to.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to. Let me see. As she lets go, as she releases and goes after, I'm gonna just strike out at her with my staff of striking.
It's a good thing to strike things with.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean that's what it's like mechanically called. In world, it's called thread cutter. Is the name of this?
Okay.
Name of this staff. Yeah, it's just like a regular looking staff, but on like each end there's some like metal bits with runes carved into them. And as I go to strike the siren, you see the runes light up. So that's 11 to hit.
Better hope you don't try to use that on Azel. It's not going to work. If anything, if I learned anything watching Hercules, it's that a guy trying to save the love of his life from essentially undeath. That thread can't be cut, man.
Can't cut that.
Oh, yeah. I literally worship death, dude. Don't. You can't.
So you're hitting this thing?
You can't loophole
I
me.
spaced out while you were talking about it because I was looking at how swimming works.
Yeah, I'm making a strike with my magical beaten stick.
All right, let's roll that beam footage. 18, that hits.
Hell yeah. Let me see. The staff has 10 charges. When you hit with a melee attack, you can expend up to 3 of its charge. Yeah, thank you. For each charge you expend, the target takes an extra 1d6 force damage.
I love that force damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna use 3. I'm gonna use 3 charges.
Okay.
So
See that
it's
damage.
1d6 plus 6. Hold on, hold on. I'm just looking at the. Okay, so I've got 2 different damage stats. It says 1d6 plus 6 or 1d8 plus 6. What's the?
I don't know. Just use the higher one for now.
Okay, I'll say d8. I think you know what? I think that might be like depending if I'm using 1 or 2 hands because it's versatile.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
works.
What it is.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'd definitely be striking with both hands.
That's a D8 then.
D8 plus 6. Okay. In total, and then that's 3d6 force damage, extra 8 damage.
Ooh, okay.
Then I have 7 charges left.
Okay, so you hit it in the back of the head hard. It, like, stumbles and falls into the water, getting away from you. But it still swims at Azel, and it claws at him with a 17. That doesn't hit you, does it?
Nah.
Okay, so...
Nah.
So it swims up under Azel, and it's just kind of like grabbing at his metal armor, his like plate armor, on like the collar, and it's like he's kind of trying to pull him down. And we are back to Sisyphus
In his frantic swimming towards Rosalind, he like kicks the merfolk in the face.
Okay, so I figured out what it was, by the way. So, command thralls, I can only do a single command. It has to be simple. So I could have only had said run to them, or when they were there, attack them. So, Baleful Charge, I used that.
So reaction lets him attack also, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did have to use that, which means that they also kind of gain temporary HP, so I also made note of that. And they're no longer attacking that one, because that one is dead.
Yes.
So they would have to... They would need a new...
The only other one you see is with Azel, and he is 15 feet out to water, because I think swimming is difficult terrain unless you have a feat or skill or something.
I have a swimming speed of 30
of course
feet.
you do.
Is that okay?
Yeah, well, I mean, it only makes sense. You're half sea elf, half merfolk. Of course, you have a swimming speed of 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But for him, he only got 15 feet out because he's a half orc.
Question: If I were to, I mean, this obviously, if I were to use like a lightning spell, I'm assuming that would affect everyone in the water.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would fuck me.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm in play.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
yeah.
I could use this because I have this cantrip, but okay.
I mean, odds are pretty good that I passed my
Cantrip. He'll survive
save.
it.
So I can go.
I don't know. Level 15 cantrips hit pretty
Yeah,
hard.
true.
You're in. So he's only 15 feet away.
Yes.
Can I see the merfolk that's attacking him?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on it.
Okay.
She's
She's definitely taking damage. Oh yeah, it's a
wisdom saving throw. Yep.
It is a she's not gonna pass. Oh, add nothing to that. Okay, so 8.
That does not pass.
0, really.
Oh god, if it's missing any of its hit points, it takes 1d12.
No, it takes
Definitely is.
3d12, baby.
3d12.
Oh.
Cantrips level up.
Oh, that's right. My bad. I wasn't even looking.
That is 20
Alright, so what's the look like when
necrotic
that thing does?
damage. Okay, so sound travels really great through water.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna say that the sound of the bells is amplified because it's underwater.
Mm-hmm.
And that just causes like this splitting headache and like just internal like brain bleed.
Yeah, so the mermaid just like merfolk grabs her head and just like slowly sinks to the bottom, and a ripple like centered on Azel just like goes out across the entire basin. And I would say since that is so powerful and it has the ripple go across, the singing stops for a split second and then picks back up, and I'm going to let Azel make another save.
This is another wisdom save. Come on. Hey, that's a 13 plus 12, 25.
So suddenly, Azel, it just kind of hits you what you've been doing, and you look out in the water, and about 30 feet away from you, there are just dozens of these creatures. they look menacing. They're glaring at you. There's a couple that are laying up on the rock, looking down at you. And I would say everyone can see them now since the singing stopped for a second and then picked back up. And you notice they have gills on their neck that kind of seem to be like vibrating, causing this singing sound.
That's disgusting. No, that's just very uneasy to know that these things are creating this singing sound from their necks.
Mm-hmm.
That's unsettling.
Some of them are even hissing, and their gills are, vibrating and still making a sound.
Love that. Love that.
How far away are they?
The closest ones are about 30 feet away from you.
Azel is very angry because they had the audacity. Like, he can't put it together that, like, it was his own mind that is what caused Rosalind to appear. In his mind, they caused, chose for Rosalind to appear. Yeah. I mean, they did it to him.
Yeah, he's really not that far off, though.
Oh, this is... I just realized something insane. But, and they're just, like, floating out in the middle of the water.
Yes. Some of them are floating, some of them are underwater. Like I said, the water's like crystal clear. You're not sure where they were before, when you didn't see them. And they all seem to be intently looking at the party. Like I said, there's... Yeah.
Okay, so I will swim 15 feet back to the shore, right? I can reach the shore again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I spent one turn swimming.
Yeah,
okay, so I'll go back to the shore where I can stand. And I will pull my javelins.
Radamanthys will be down there to help him onto the shore.
I'll pull my javelins off my back, and I'm going to check one of them bad boys at one of them that I can see.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
I'll check two of them bad boys at one of them I can see.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I think that's probably both going to hit.
I'm fine with just
I mean,
them both
I guess
hitting.
one of them
It's
could
fine.
be a 30, and one could be an 11.
An 11 plus 10 would still hit, so you're fine.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
Roll that damage.
Gosh,
Double javelin damage.
That damage.
You get that plus 5 on a javelin throw?
Dude, I get plus 5 to my damage rolls, full stop.
Even spells?
I'll have to check that.
That's still awesome, though.
And maybe it's even just melee.
Add them onto this, though. It's fine.
Melee weapon damage rolls. It is just melee. Javelin 6 or 8? 6.
I think it's a 6, but just do 8 to be safe. It's fine.
It's a 1 plus 5, 6, and a 4 plus 5, 9 for 15 total damage to one of these things. Obviously, he's aiming for the gills, in fact.
So one hits in the shoulder and the other hits in the back. And it kind of screeches and starts moving away, and all of the merfolk in the water kind of scatter when these javelins hit one of their own, and they kind of scatter, and some go behind the rocks, and some actually crawl up on the shore on the other side and stand up and run. Like, it looked like they had mermaid, like, fish tails, when they were in the water swimming, but you see as they come up on the bank that their legs, right? Like, they were holding their legs together, and they look like fins when they were swimming, but their legs part, and they run, like, out into the jungle. There's still two on the rocks.
I suppose anybody took silence as a spell.
That'd be good here. There's still like two laying up on the rock just watching you cautiously, but they're not making noise anymore. There's no more singing. They now seem very wary of you. Clearly aren't used to much fighting back in this situation.
Azel, glares at them with hate. And merfolk cat people. Stomps over to Rosalind and, is just going to make sure that no harm came to her in the course of this scuffle.
And this seems
I guess I used all my movement.
This seems like a natural stopping point. Unless everyone's wanting to keep going.
No, I think that's a good
I think so too.
stopping point.
If everybody's in agreement.
We'll be able to jump into it, I think, a little bit more quickly next time. I apologize for the late start time, guys. My parents very graciously brought some furniture up to Ohio from Georgia, and so we wanted to spend a little bit of time with them this evening while they were here. They're leaving in the morning, so
That's all good, man. Life happens. This is just a game. No worries.
I'm glad we got to play though.
Yeah,
Yes, I
I'm
fun.
glad y'all still got on for a while.
I'll get better with playing with her too, because like I think I understand better now that I've had the ability.
Well, we're so high level too.
Yeah.
It really slows
yeah, we
it
jumped
down.
into level
That's
15
true.
characters.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb, what's your level split between your classes?
10 levels of monk, 5 levels of cleric.
Ooh.
You say 10 levels of monk?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing about monks and paladins is that monks eventually get proficiency with every saving throw. So, like, you would be adding a minimum of 10 to all of your saves. But I'm pretty sure you get Diamond Body at 14.
Yeah.
Monk is, like, my favorite class. My absolute favorite subclass are Cavalier Fighters, but monks are probably generally...
Oh yeah, if I was going to level this character anymore, it would probably be I'd tap out the rest of monk. But I do know when you're doing.
I think there is a point where...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I do know when you're doing multi-class, like you don't optimize all the features of your class of the base class.
Yeah, I was gonna have
think-
it's gonna be very combat heavy, especially since we're level 15. I was just gonna let y'all flex on that. So next time hopefully we can finish it next time we play. Basically, this jungle is a dungeon that y'all are making your way through.
Hopefully, I won't be burdened by the absolute dog shit rolls.
But I don't have it laid out like
Well,
a natural
I was adding
like a regular dungeon, right? Like I have basically events scattered throughout that can happen, and depending on rolls and decisions you make, you go different ways. Like
random encounters.
Like you had a horrible survival check, which is why you encountered this.
Okay.
But these
and then 2 horrible wisdom saves.
yeah, I was really It would be cool to drag one of y'all out and be drowning you, but it was getting late. But I wanted these merfolk that Jacque made to be super dangerous.
I'm
It's
sorry, what
scary.
did you say? You cut out there.
I said I just wanted these merfolk that you
Did your
made
whole thing.
to be scary and dangerous.
Yes, I love
And
it.
they
I
were.
think it
That-
was perfect. The second you started saying like they were getting dragged, I was like, oh god, we're gonna die. Panic.
Are these like the mermaids from Pirates of the Caribbean? I could shift into normal land women when they got out of the water. I'm guessing.
No, like I pictured them when they're swimming, they look like they have a mermaid tail. But it's not, right? It's 2 legs that that are together
That's
with
what you were
fins coming
saying.
out on from their heels.
Yeah.
And they don't move like legs do when they're in the water. They do move like a fin, so you wouldn't know, right? Unless you already know. So when they get out of the water, it was probably disorienting for a second because it looks like their tail splits in half and turns into legs and they run. But really, it was legs.
I found the names that we called them. So these
forgot we named
sirens we call them Frows. I think that's how you pronounce it. And then the good ones, the ones that are more just like, hey, let me commune with nature and leave me alone, are called Verus.
Hang on, I want to make a note of that. Next time we play this, I want to say that at the beginning because I totally forgot what name.
Oh yeah, I should
So
stop.
what are
recording
the
now.
evil ones?